I made myself some chili tonight. The first time I've had chili for this winter arc season that is here. And man, it feels good to, get back to the winter months. It's nice because it kind of reminds me of the season for reflection, and it's a season for reconciliation of your own mind and, time to analyze, strategize, and go into the darkness. I'm definitely at my most creative during the winter months. I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely at my most creative as far as my spiritual side is concerned, definitely during the winter months. I don't know what it is. During the summer months, I just want to go do things. I just want to go be active. But during the winter months, I just kind of want to snuggle up inside, be warm, have some tea, and make some art. Like, that's really the main thing I want to do. But anyways, in this video, I want to talk about the woman that took the silent chill guy for granted. If you're the silent chill guy that a woman took for granted, there's going to be warning signs that she probably didn't see up until you got to the point in which things had to change. And she might be wanting to, have good intentions with you. But the problem is that sometimes, at least most of the time now, women just can't give men what they need, and most men can't give women what they need. It just is the way that it is most often nowadays. And there's a lot of quarrels inwardly that are being faced by a majority of people that they have yet to overcome. They don't know how to overcome these things. They don't know why they need to overcome these things. They don't even know how to overcome a lot of these things a lot of the time. And if you just start to become a little bit less quiet, or more quiet rather, less talkative and less affectionate, a lot of these women, if they're just using you for attention or whatnot, they're not going to show that they care. But a woman that is kind of clingy, I kind of want a woman that's a little clingy in my life, because that shows me that she wants to be around me. My thing is I need to make sure that I'm the man that doesn't take her for granted either. Because even though I'm a silent, chill guy most of the time, I refuse to be the guy that takes any person in their relationships for granted. And if I start to notice that, I start to course correct. Because often, it's like one thing about the Bible that I've learned and that I've taken away from the Bible is that the best way to get your life on track is to help others get their life on track. And that's one of the reasons why I do these videos. It's one of the reasons why I do what I do with the Real Change Academy, etc. It's because I know that, number one, yes, I'm providing a service, but number two, it's that I am aiming to help people's lives be a little bit better. I know that I might not be able to do all the things that I want to do in my life, simply because of the cards that I've been dealt. But that doesn't mean that I can't give somebody else a spark. That doesn't mean that I can't give somebody else the inspiration to do what they do. And I've already seen that, there's some people that I communicate with now on a consistent basis where I feel as though it is my sacred duty to show them what not to do so that they can do what's right. And especially when it comes to this kind of topic, I definitely have more of an understanding that a lot of women are going to think that this is, if they're watching this kind of video, that it's like a diss on the women. It's not a diss on the women. Do I love women? Absolutely. Do I want to hear them and what they have to say all the time as far as their opinions and such? Not really. I want to be able to just care for the woman and make sure that she's doing what she needs to do for her family. That's it. That's all that I care about when it comes to women nowadays, most of the time. It's not that I don't think that they have useful things to say. most of the time. Like most of the time, if it's a godly woman, yeah, she's going to have something of use to say, and she's going to be able to, be able to actually have a conversation. Because I know that women want to have conversations. They just want to be able to talk. They don't care what it's about. They just don't want to be bored, right? Whereas when I talk with men, it's usually for a purpose. Like there's nothing that I'm going to be saying that isn't going to be conducive toward a certain outcome that I want to have or knowledge that I want to share. Because the more that we know, the better we know how to do things, and we know why we do things. And we can just, with more knowledge, do really anything that we desire. But it takes this integration of knowledge and wisdom. And I think that a lot of the times when you're the dude that can just be chill, that you don't maybe ask for much. You don't really ask a lot from your woman. You just ask her to, what's something basic that everybody can think of? Being there for you when you need her, holler at her if you need her. But if she's able to cook and clean and she knows how to listen, that's a woman that, holy moly. If she knows how to listen and she knows how to cook and clean, what's crazy is that's like, that's considered like a high quality woman nowadays. 50, 70 years ago or whatever, that was just the norm. And now it's like, oh my gosh, if I could just get a woman that knows how to cook and knows how to clean and she knows how to listen to me, man, my life would be great. Can you imagine like our grandparents or our great grandparents thinking about like my generation, and like this is what we're looking for, us godly people who we just want a woman that's able to do those basic things. It's really not that difficult. And stay in shape, be healthy, but don't be a slut about it. All right, don't be going to the gym just to go to the gym and show off everything. Now there's nothing wrong with, if you want to do that, that's your prerogative. But know that the godly man out there, the silent chill guy who's actually godly, is going to see through that BS really, really quickly. Because the thing is like, the silent chilled guy that's godly, he's going to be able to see with the energy of a woman. Because think about this, right? I was thinking about dreams recently. And I was thinking about how if I think about certain things before I go to sleep, I wonder if I'm going to be able to recover information from my subconscious about the things that I'm thinking about specifically. And so, because like when you go to sleep, obviously you're entering the unconscious, right? But if you're thinking about certain things and you're priming yourself to think about certain things before you sleep, you're going to have those kinds of dreams, right? So I was thinking about like, okay, well, how am I going to think about certain things before I go to sleep? I'm going to ask myself certain questions, and I'm going to ask God for guidance in my dreams so that I can get those answers. And that's what I've been doing. And to my surprise, it's been very successful. And it's not like I haven't done this before. I'm just doing it way more intentionally now. And a lot of the things that I have been conversing with God about is, women. And it's not because I don't understand them. It's because, like, what am I supposed to do at this point? Like, how am I supposed to, like, build myself up and continue to build myself up so that I can attract that woman, right? Because I already feel as though I should have been married like years ago. Like, I should have been married 4 years ago. What exactly is going on? Because I don't feel as though I'm incapable of navigating the terrain. What exactly is it? Like, what has been the pattern for the last 4 years that I've seen that has continually come up? And it's always been feeling underappreciated. It's always been feeling like I was taken for granted. Because I was taken for granted. And it's just like, you can see it because they're always talking to somebody. You know, they're always talking to somebody, some man, some dude. And they act like it's not a big deal. And it's just like, when you say, look, I don't like the way that this is going on, but I know that, you know, we're not together, but if I'm going to continue to talk to you, I can't have that, you know, going on. And if you just put down that boundary, they don't know how to handle it. They don't know, like, they just don't know how to handle it a lot of the times. Women don't know how to handle these things nowadays. They don't know how to handle a man that they can't control either. And I think that's another thing, you know, feeling like taken advantage of for your kindness as well. I think a lot of men have experienced that, because think about this. How many men do you know that have intentionally, you know, they've tried to date seriously. They've really, like, they're dating for marriage. You know, they're not dating just to date. You know, they want something more. And then how many women have you seen that do that? Seriously, because I don't see the same percentage of men and women doing that. It's way more men doing this. And it's not to say that women aren't doing this. It's just that it's a much smaller percentage than the men. The problem is, though, is that the men are mostly in this fantasy land, and we're in the hard times create strong men era, I believe, because we've been through a lot of just, it's not even hard physically necessarily, it's just more spiritually and emotionally difficult as far as the times that we're in, the spirit of the times that we're in. And I'm wondering, like, okay, how can we as men lead better so that we can see when a woman is matching our effort, so that we can see when we're being prioritized? Because the fact of the matter is like, let's say, for example, like, I don't know, a woman that's really busy, okay? She's really busy, so to speak, right? And maybe she is, like, maybe she really is. Maybe she's going to school, you know, maybe she's also got a part-time job or something, and maybe she wants to be with her friends every now and again. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, you know, wanting to have a social life. The problem is, though, is on this path, is it just me? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe this isn't the most acute way to see things, but honestly, a woman that's engaging with a lot of different women or a lot of different men all the time, and like, even if the men are not like inherently sexual in the interactions, even if it's just like professional, I don't trust that woman. I just don't, because her energy is being shared everywhere. But the woman that has like maybe just 2 or 3 friends that she just wants to hang out with, those, like, those are her friends, but she doesn't have a whole lot, I trust that woman way more. And why is that? Well, because she's not sharing her energy with everybody. She's not giving parts of herself everywhere all the time. And the problem is like, some of these women that you'll meet as a man, is they are the kinds of women that, I mean, they're attractive. You know, they keep themselves in shape, but they don't really know how to cook. They're kind of a career woman, and they talk to everybody. And they actually maybe really like you. You know, maybe she really likes you. Maybe she really enjoys your company. But you just, and you maybe like her, right? But the thing is like, you just don't see things working out, even though you're both maybe attracted to each other. But if you're but if you know that this is the kind of person she is, she's always giving her soul away to all these different people, it's like, I can't do that, man. I can't do that. And I don't think a lot of men that are on my frequency can also do that either. I think most of the men that are watching my channel or watching my account and all that, resonating with this stuff, they totally get where I'm coming from, because I don't think you would be watching either, other than to just watch, which is just weird. Have you ever seen those people that, like, they never leave a comment until it's a critique? They don't like your stuff or whatever. They never leave. They're just like in the shadows watching you until you say something that maybe they don't exactly agree with. And then, oh, well, I've been watching you for this many months, and well, now I don't agree with you. What were you doing? You were just watching me for like 4 months and you didn't have anything to say up until you had a critique? That's kind of weird. You know, it's just kind of weird. But anyway, that's a side note. But like with some of these women, you know, they do have the capacity and the potential. But the problem is that you can't really fall for potential. I say that I have love for women, but I don't fall in love with them, because I think to fall in love with a woman is to completely lose yourself. There's nothing wrong with being in love, okay? Being in love, when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, being in love romantically. I mean being love to some degree. If you are love itself, then you are, like, every single action you take is out of love. And even if it may come across as something that you maybe don't want to have come across, it's still going to be good overall, because it's the truth. Because love is the truth. And if you live the truth, then you're living in love. And I mean this like agape love. And the Greeks, they have these differentiating terms for the types of love. And I think that's going to be very useful to understand in the long term. You know, there's like eros love, which is like pure lust. And then there's agape love, which is the divine love type of thing, right? So anyway, there's this agape love that's instilled into us, and that can be expressed in general. But when you are just love, when you're embodying that to the best that you can, then everything you're going to do is going to be, well, wholesome to some degree. But I'm at a point in my life now to where I'm realizing that, you know, I'm almost like, it doesn't even feel like it, but I'm almost 30. Like, I'll be 30 next year. Next July, I'll be 30. And I'm planning in my life, I want to be able to be in a relationship with a woman for at least 1.5 years before we get married or have plans to have long-term relationship where we're going to be, having babies down the line. I want to make sure that this is a woman I see in a variety of different types of environments with different kinds of people, so I can see who she is and why she is, and like if there's any type of any craziness that comes out. But you know, the thing is, I've yet to meet a woman that just isn't a little bit crazy to some degree. And it's not to say that I haven't met godly women, because I have met godly women. And yes, you know, they can, we're adults here. Once a month, they'll get a little crazy and all that and emotional, but that's fine. I'm a man, I can deal with that. There's no problem. Something that I can handle. What I can't handle is the needless drama and the unnecessary instigation of drama. And so what my job is as a man is to create the drama that she craves enough to where it's not like I'm intentionally rocking the boat per se, but I'm not rocking the boat either. I'm keeping things interesting, and there's a little tension, you know, there's subtle tension there. I'm not just adoring her all the time, because I think there's a guy from, is it Psychax? Shout out to him, because he's a psychologist, probably one of the most prominent psychologists that I've seen in our time. And this guy, he talks about in the relationship, there's the adored and then the adorer. And the woman who is the adorer and the man that's the adored, almost always there's going to be an everlasting relationship there. But when the man is the adorer and the woman is the adored, things go south really quickly. And as a man, you know, nowadays we're taught that we need to adore women. We need to be the adorers. And so for a lot of men, it's almost quote unquote unnatural, even though it is natural, to be the adored person in the relationship. And so women have adored me, but they like hate that they adore me. They like hate that I'm the man that they can't control. They hate that I'm the man that they love, that I'm untamable. They love that I'm untamable, but at the same time they hate it because it's going against both of our programmings, right? And what this does collectively is that the society that we live in sees that, okay, well, if you're the chill, silent dude that doesn't really need to talk too much, but, you're chill, and you don't chase, and I don't think women should chase either, but I think the women are to be the adorers in the relationship, right? And if you're just, being who you are as a man, it's almost like you're going against your own nervous system. Because, like, think about this. If you've ever been in a narcissistic relationship or you've been around a narcissist, they like train your nervous system to attack itself through gaslighting and manipulation. And that's what a lot of women do nowadays, man. That's what a lot of women do. They try to gaslight you into oblivion. And what's crazy is when I'm just very direct with women, most of them don't know how to handle it. They just don't know how to handle it because they weren't taught how to behave around a man, because most of these dudes out here are beta depleted coomers. It's just the way that I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying that that's what it is. And so if you're like a man that is untamable, but you're kind, you don't let yourself get taken advantage of, you know when to walk away. You might still have attraction or have compassion for the woman, but you know that it's not going to work. And you just respect yourself enough to just stay away and not let yourself get sucked back into that relationship that even though she wants you very bad, because she does. She wants you very, very bad. She wants to sit on daddy's lap, but you know that it's not going to go anywhere. So in a way, you feel like you're going against the system inside of you, but that's not the actual nervous system. That's not actually what God made you. That's just the societal programming. And it's the same thing for her. Like, she wants to be with you, but she also wants to control you. And it's like, it doesn't work like that, sweetie. It doesn't work like that at all. Okay, I'm going to do what I want on my own time. And I'm going to know when it's time, because God's just going to, okay, it's time. And I'm just going to act. I'm going to know when it's time to do things and when it's time not to do things. But anyways, guys, I think I said everything that I wanted to say in this video. I hope that it was useful for you. I hope that you take, some insight or some guidance from it. I'm not here to give advice, but at the same time, I do want people to be guided toward a better route and a better way. And I think, number one, that starts with just developing your relationship to Christ. And number two, it's just acting through what he guides you with, being obedient. And for me right now, the biggest thing that I want to do and what I want to make sure of is, like, if I'm going to have a year and a half to date for a woman, basically, and I don't mean date as in like, because these terms are just, like, I don't date just to date. I don't go on dates anymore, really. I haven't gone on a date for, when was the last time I went on a date? 5 years, maybe 5 years ago. But I've hung out with women. I've been around women. But I never called it a date, and we've never been anything official. And I don't really care to make anything official until I know that this is going to be my wife someday. Like, that's the way that I see it. We're not going to be official until I know that we're going to be a family. Like, it's just the way that I'm operating now. And I'm not going to let myself and my standards, like, I'm not going to apologize for my standards. And it's not like these are even high standards. Like, that's what's so crazy. That's what's so crazy is we're taught, like, oh, being able to cook and clean and being fit and healthy and wanting to be a mom. and listening. These are high standards nowadays, guys. Like, this is the world that we live in. Meanwhile, the men, we don't even get started on the standards for men. But to be honest, as a man, if you just have enough confidence in yourself and you know how to generate resources, you can bypass a lot of all these women's standards. But for men, like, we have to, because a lot of these women just have standards just to have standards. They just want to be, oh yeah, you go, girl. You know, that's all that they want to do. But those are the ones you don't even want anyway. Okay? You don't even, the minute that you stop tolerating low quality women, you'll actually find that your options really narrow. But it's actually good because now you're getting the cream of the crop. But anyways, guys, I hope you all stay blessed out there. Peace be with you. Until next time.